All right, let's get into this.
Yeah.
I feel like I come on the air here every week now in December saying that was the game of the year. Right? Rams and the Seahawks. That was the game of the year.
At that moment, it was.
Packers and Bears.
Oh, my.
Part 2. That was the game of the year.
Sure, you're right.
Then, came last night. Off of, by the way, a Bills-Eagles game that we're going to discuss in the middle of this first hour that looked as if it was a pedestrian type of feel to it with a playoff covering on it until the final throws of that game put it into can't miss, this is classic, unbelievable, can't believe what I'm seeing type football.
Mother Nature had a little to do with that.
That's true. And then comes Sunday night. The 49ers and the Bears. Two teams coming into this campaign, coming into this season with last place schedules. Because everybody's thinking, okay, last year, Packers made it, Vikings made it, Lions made it. Good luck to Ben Johnson and these Bears to do anything in their first year together with Caleb Williams. And then the 49ers last year. They were particularly troubled as a franchise. And then this 49ers team losing Nick Bosa, a defensive player of the year. Fred Warner, another defensive player of the year type player. They lose George Kittle for 4 games and then last night, so about a quarter of the season. They lost Brock Purdy for a third of the season. They lost Ricky Pearsall for half the season. Brandon Ayuk is best known this year for speeding past the field of jeans and recording it more than what he does with his own speed because of injuries and whatever the hell's going on with this team. Not a single snap from Brandon Ayuk this year. This team, this 49ers team, for a fan base that is out of their skulls in terms of their rabidness, their love of this team. They're waiting for this team to win a Super Bowl championship longer. I'll do this for you, TJ.
Thank you.
Then Cowboys fans have been waiting for their team to get back to the NFC championship game. That's how long it's been for the 49ers to win a Super Bowl. Obviously, they've made it back and had Mahomes standing in their way. And last night, they had a second coming of Mahomes standing in their way. Even, as you know, Chris Collinsworth could not resist mentioning Patrick Mahomes watching Caleb Williams do what he's doing last night. But guess what the 49ers have? Guess who the 49ers have? They got themselves Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Shanahan. Together, one of the best play-calling quarterback, running back combinations in the National Football League, if not the best. I just said those words. Because, again, these 49ers doing what they are doing without the players that they have or without the players they haven't had, to be on the precipice of not having to pack a bag for the rest of this year until perhaps they take a post-Super Bowl parade vacation with their families. The home of Super Bowl 60 is the home of the 49ers. And who thought coming into this season it would be possible for the Niners to play in that game? Who thought it would be possible in Week 17 prior to Week 1, prior to when the schedule's coming out, that it would be possible for the 49ers to play in this game? Legit possible. You did? You keep pointing yourself over there.
I had them on my top. Remember, I had 7 teams
to win the Super Bowl
that I thought could win, and
okay, so you would. I guess it's a figurative speech then. You threw them in there with a bunch of others. What they are doing right now is beyond impressive. And what they did last night, Brock Purdy, his first throw picked off for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. First time in a couple years since Alex Highsmith picked off Deshaun Watson to start a game. That's been a couple years since a pick six started a football game. And all the Niners did was just put their foot in the ground and keep scoring and scoring and scoring. And at the end of the day, a defense that couldn't stop the other team together with this team, resilient, wins the football game. Similar to one, if I have to make a Mahomes reference, to the Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes Monday Night Football 54-51 final. This had that feel to it. Whoever gets the ball last is going to win the game. Whoever doesn't score a touchdown is going to lose the game. I mean, the 49ers, talk about resilient, they actually had a punt for the first time all month last night.
That's crazy.
Tommy Townsend was running down the field like he was, Rudy on amphetamines.
He had a lot of aggression.
He was just running down the field like the wind. Can't believe he's actually following up a punt and dapping up his teammates after he actually was allowed to punt.
Guys, I'm in the game.
Rudy on amphetamines.
I did say those words. And Brock Purdy, this is amazing. Just one more time, just to say what part of it Thomas Mornstead, not Thomas. I'm mixing up the people who I called a game watching punt on Saturday. Thomas Morstead, pardon me. Thank you for that. Mike Hoskins getting in my ear. You could play the slow Sports Center music because I just had that moment of screwing up. Listen, Brock Purdy doing what he's doing now because, again, he missed a third of the season. This is also part and parcel in this day and age where a guy like Mac Jones comes in and performs as well as he has, and everybody's like, well, why aren't we just playing with him, playing him? Why aren't we just using him as their starting quarterback? Just take a look at what's going on in Green Bay right now. Malik Willis didn't even win the game Saturday night.
I know, and they're just like...
All right, so that's the way things go in this world. But Purdy's showing off why, yes, he should be the starter in San Francisco, and yes, he's worth what he got paid this offseason. Last night, Brock Purdy became the sixth player in the Super Bowl era with 5 or more offensive touchdowns in consecutive games. Yeah, short week, San Francisco on Monday night, week 16. He had 5 touchdowns. Last guy to do that in back-to-back games, Russell Wilson in 2020. First player in the history of the San Francisco 49ers. Did you hear what I just said?
History.
Thank you. Of the 49ers.
History of the 49ers.
5-time Super Bowl champion.
A lot of MVP and
Montana
Hall of Fame
and Young, to name 2.
Jeff Garcia.
300 or more passing yards, 3 or more passing touchdowns, and 2 or more rushing touchdowns in a game.
Elvis
Nobody's
Grbac.
ever done it. Oh, you can even throw Kaepernick out there too, sir.
He was going to be next.
And how about this one? Over the last 40 seasons, there's only one other quarterback with 3 or more passing touchdowns and 2 or more rushing touchdowns in a primetime game. And it's somebody you wouldn't equate with Brock Purdy. His name is Michael Vick. Brock Purdy had a Michael Vick game on Sunday night.
Kind of did.
And this is when Kyle Shanahan, who, as you know, throws around a lot of compliments like manhole covers on time to time, certainly when it comes to quarterbacks, had this to say about Brock Purdy when last night he did what he did against a red-hot quarterback and offense in Chicago's.
I thought Brock had a hell of a game. Again, Brock's been playing his ass off, made some huge plays in this game, kept some drives alive with his legs, made some off-schedule plays, and was an assassin out there throughout the whole day.
You've seen Brock play some really good games over the years, but have you seen a stretch like this? Is this as good as he's ever been right now?
I don't know. I'm not the best historian. I feel like he's had some good stretches. I mean, especially going back in 23 and 22. But, I mean, he's playing as good as it gets right now.
Well, I'll give you the history, Kyle. Purdy's third straight season now with 20 or more passing touchdowns. Only Steve Young has a longer such streak in the history of the San Francisco 49ers. So that's the totality of Purdy's run right now. And I gave you what he just did in terms of back-to-back games in the short term. And that play he made where he ran around for 8 seconds and it looked like he was going to maybe try to run it in, and he pulled up stakes and threw it to Juszczyk.
Yep.
was one of those moments where we as a collective nation watching it on NBC probably cursed on the couch. Holy S.
Yeah, especially when you're playing them in the fantasy championship.
Okay. Yep. Brock Purdy. And then he does his dance. As well, you should, Brock. Hit it.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a bootleg and just one of those things where the defense sort of did a good job covering it and just tried to make a play, keep the play alive. And then obviously when I cut back in, defenses tend to, go in to in cuts on scrambles. So just trying to keep the play alive and saw juice in the corner. So it was cool that he had his antenna up too right there in that moment. And obviously he scored and you just try to give the team momentum and celebrate. So it was a cool play.
And then it helps to have a Hall of Famer in Christian McCaffrey. I said it weeks ago. I'll say it again. That's a Hall of Fame running back. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I know I sound angry.
Okay. Yeah. No one's pushing back.
Okay.
Well, we did.
You did a few weeks ago.
1,000%.
He had a season-high 140 rushing yards. He
I need a
joins
couple more years.
He joins LaDainian Tomlinson as the only players in NFL history to have 3 seasons with 2,000 or more scrimmage yards and 15 or more touchdowns now. 8th player in the history of the NFL to have 3 seasons with 2,000 or more scrimmage yards. The only ones with more are Marshall, Eric Dickerson, and Walter Payton. This guy is unbelievable. When he comes out of the game, you're like, why? And then you see him breathing heavily on the sideline. You're like, oh, that's right. He's had 90 million touches tonight.
400 on the
There was one moment in the game on a Monday nighter against Indianapolis where he comes out of the game inside the 5-yard line, and you saw Shanahan sort of shaking his head on the sideline, and I knew exactly what was happening. I've said it to Cooper as I'm sitting next to him. I'm like, he can't believe McCaffrey's coming out of the game right now. You know what Shanahan did?
Called timeout.
He did. Do you know what happened after the timeout?
McCaffrey scored a
Touchdown, Christian McCaffrey. That's why you have him. You trade for somebody like him. The Eagles with Saquon Barkley. I can't believe the Panthers decided years ago, let's just flip him to San Francisco. Well, that's for another day. This day, San Francisco wakes up with a shot at the 1 seed in a campaign that ends in their own house. That's a fact. And on top of it, what you love to do is stick it to your rivals. That win eliminated the Rams from the 1 seed. The Rams are going to be a wild card team. How tough of a loss was that in the previous game of the year against Seattle? So San Francisco, despite losing everybody, despite having so much go against them, is a 1 seed possibility to the point where all they've got to do is win 1 game at home, and they stay at home for the rest of a playoff campaign that ends in their home. Take the luggage and put it in the basement. Holy cow. And it's in the toughest division in the NFL. I just mentioned the Rams are eliminated from the division in the 1 seed. They're playing for their 12th win tonight. They could be a 3rd place, 13-win team. That's what the Niners are doing. Can't rave about them enough. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.